The English port city of Dover is the perennial place for comings and goings. That's because of its proximity to the continent of Europe. France is within eyeshot on a clear day. The distance, just 21 miles or 34 kilometers across the English Channel. Dover is where invading Roman legions came ashore in 54 BC. 1,000 years later, invading Normans were consolidating their conquest of Britain by building a massive stronghold on the iconic White Cliffs. Dover Castle, built by King Henry II in the 1180s, is the largest and one of the best preserved medieval castles in England. For the next 1,000 years, it stood as a guardian to the gateway of the realm. Dover became known as the lock and the key to England. In 1939, Dover played a pivotal role in rescuing the British Expeditionary Force trapped on the beaches of Dunkirk, France. Operation Dynamo was planned and executed from the vast military tunnel complex built into the Dover Cliffs. A flotilla of small boats sent across the channel rescued 338,000 British and French troops in what became known as the Miracle of Dunkirk. Today, Dover is best known for its ferry and cruise ship terminals. Every year, 16 million visitors pass in and out of Dover. The ferries make the crossing in about 90 minutes. The loading operation looks like a giant conveyor belt. Over 2 million trucks and nearly 3 million cars queue up each year. 50 ships make the trip to Calais and Dunkirk every day. Nearby, the cruise ship terminals are busy from April through October. Dover is synonymous with the White Cliffs, but it's actually hard to see them from Dover. The ferry terminal blocks the view. For the best views, you have to do a little hiking. There's a trail on top of the cliffs. Eventually, this will be part of a 66-mile-long coastal trail. You can also drive or take a cab to the base of the cliffs. The best views are from the channel itself. The town of Dover is scenic. The waterfront offers some great views. The town center is very walkable and presents a dramatic view of the castle. There's shops, restaurants, Roman ruins, and historic churches. There's a small history museum next to the tourist information office. Near the base of the castle, there are some lovely bed and breakfasts, like the beautifully restored Churchill Guesthouse. It was built in the 18th century to house visiting military officers. Just across the square is a B&B where America's third president, Thomas Jefferson, was a guest, and a few steps away from that is one of the most famous buildings in Dover, the White Horse Pub, built in 1365. It's the oldest pub in town. It's next to the ruins of St. James Church, which was destroyed by German bombers in World War II. The White Horse is the official pub of the English Channel Swimmers Association. The organization was founded in 1927 to oversee and sanction all attempts to swim the channel. The first known swim from Dover to France was made in 1875. Since then, there have been over 2,200 successful swims. When a channel swimmer makes it, he or she gets to autograph the wall at the White Horse and buy a round of drinks. While it's only 21 miles to France, the tides and weather conditions make the distance much longer. The fastest time for a swim is 6 hours 55 minutes, the longest 28 hours 44 minutes. That swimmer ended up having to swim about 65 miles. Dover is a great place to visit, even if it's just a day trip. London is only 65 miles away, about 2 hours by train. The fabled cathedral town of Canterbury is just 15 miles away. Dover is so much more than a place to simply pass through, and proves once again that travel is one of the few things we can buy that will actually make us richer.